Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pointy Not Sharp. Today we're taking a look at the Argentine model 1909 bayonet. Now this one here is a bit of a rare variation. The keen eye might have noticed it's got a low muzzle ring, so these are quite uncommon. I'm very lucky to get my hands on this one. Now these were made to fit, they're made to fit the model 1909 Mauser rifle and the model 1909/47 carbine. But they're also interchangeable with the model 1891 rifle, other than the ones with the lower muzzle rings, but I'll get into that shortly. So these were manufactured by three different manufacturers. So initially, like this one here, they were manufactured in Germany by Weisberg, Kirschbaum & Co. in Zollingen. And production there went on from 1909 through to 1912. And they made 170,000 of them. The second lot of production was the Army Portable Weapons Factory in Santa Fe, and that was in Argentina. And production there started in 1947 for the 1909/47 carbine and finished in 1959. And they only produced just over 19,000. And finally, they were also made by the Armada Artillery Arsenal Zárate, or was it ARAZ or AAAZ, whatever it is. And they were made there for the Navy or the Armada from 1950 to 55, and they only made 3,500. Now, I've got another bayonet here. You might recognise this one here. This is the model of 1891 Argentine. The 1909 went on to replace this one here. And the reason for that was nothing to do with the bayonet, essentially. It was more the rifle. So, the model 1909... get in there, please. The model 1909 is based off the Gewehr 98 rifle. So, it was a more modern, essentially a better rifle. And the Gewehr 98 has a higher bayonet lug than the 1891. So, you'll notice the difference in the muzzle ring height. This makes for a stronger mount. It also allows the cleaning rod to, if you can see here, we've got a hole or sort of a semicircle at the base of the mortise. So the cleaning rod will actually go into the back. There's a hole going down the handle, and the cleaning rod will go into the bayonet, while the 1891 does not have this. But all of this, it just goes to make a stronger mount for a more modern rifle. Now, it didn't take them very long before they realised they had a bit of a logistical issue, because they had all these rifles and bayonets. However, bayonets were no longer interchangeable between rifles. And after the first order was received on the 22nd of November 1909, that's when it really became noticed. And they changed the order from then on. So from then on, the 1909 style bayonets went on to have the same muzzle ring height as the 1891. So, of the about 200,000 1909s produced, only the first 3,000 have the lowered muzzle ring. For that reason, they're quite sought after. They are a lot more collectible, and they are very difficult to find. My friend was very lucky to get his hands on this one. He just bought a stock standard 1909, not knowing what he was going to get. This arrived, and it wasn't until very recently we figured out what he had. So it's good for him. Now, to get around the logistical issue, they, one of the generals in Argentina, General Pablo Requeri, I'll probably mispronounce that, he designed the Requeri adapter. So what I've got here is the bayonet lug from a model 1909 and the Requeri adapter on it. So you'll see the bayonet lug is there, the Requeri adapter slides onto it and just has a lowered bayonet lug, so you can fit one of these onto a model 1909 rifle. Now, I can't actually get this off to show you, because it was a really tight fit, and to get it to fit, I sort of hammered it on a bit. Now I can't get it off, and I don't want to damage it, so I'm just going to leave it on. But these Requeri adapters are also used in Spain on the model 1943 short rifles and their bayonets as well. They're pretty cheap. You can pick them up for like $7, I think, from ebaynet.com in the US. And as I alluded before, in 1947, Argentina also manufactured the bayonets, or their own run of Model 1909/47 bayonets. And they're the same bayonets, they're just made in Argentina. They have a whole bunch of different markings on them, because they were made essentially for, some were made military, a lot were made for local police units like gendarmerie. But they made just over 22,000 in total. And I'll run through them quickly actually. So the first batch was for the army, and they made about 16,615, or they did make 16,615. And you'll know their army because, so you got the Argentine crest here. They'll be marked with an EA underneath the crest, or some variation of that. They'll have a crest and an EA, and that's how you know their army. I've been told there is more than one variation of marking for the Argentinian manufactured EAs. I'll get into the markings shortly, but just while I explain all of these different variations. 905 were made for the Gendarmerie Nationale. They had two different styles of marking, so you'll find 500 of those were manufactured with a GN and a crest, and another 405 were made with only GN and no crest. And the Consejo Federal de Seguridad, I've definitely mispronounced that, they had 1,200 manufactured for them. And these are all made by the Army Portable Weapons Factory in Santa Fe, just for your own reference. And those were marked by just a CSF and no crest. Next, the Police Maritima. I assume it's like maritime police, I'm not terribly certain. They had 101 made for them, and they're marked with PM and no crest. So if you can get hold of one of those are incredibly rare. And next, there were 251 made for the Prefectura Maritima. I assume another maritime police, I really don't know. And they are also marked P, N, and then M. And finally, the ARA AAMZ manufactured 3,500 for the Navy. And you'll find them marked with exactly that. It'll be ARA at the top, which is Armada Republico Argentina. And then below that, AAMZ, which is the manufacturer. And I believe, oh no, I'm not sure. It's in Argentina. Essentially, it's for the Naval Artillery Arsenal in Zarate. So I know the Z stands for Zarate. All that being said, I'll jump into the markings quickly. So you will find quite a few markings on these. First up, where is it? They'll all be marked like the 1891s with RA within an oval for Republico Argentina. It's the property stamp for Argentina. You'll have the manufacturer on one side of the Ricasso, and then on the other side you'll usually have your crest, property marks, and serial number. I'll explain serial numbers shortly. There's also a whole bunch of other little markings I'm really not certain on, like I've got a G here, I've got no idea what that stands for, a P on the reverse, what's that, another G right there, oh no, it's a CK. I don't know what that stands for. I haven't been able to find anything on those. And here on the scabbard, I've got a D with an X in it. No idea what that stands for. Wipe that off there. FD on the throat. So these are all a little bit of a mystery to me. And then another serial number. Focus, please. Just here. Now, duplicate bayonets for rifles, when a bayonet was damaged or lost, were issued with the same serial number as the rifle and the same serial number as the previous bayonet. And you can spot them because at the end of the serial number, pick this up to demonstrate, I don't have one here, it'll have BIS on the end, which is an abbreviation for duplicate. Now, the serial numbers with Mauser serial numbers, generally the first 10,000 will not have a letter prefix, and then the second 10,000 will start with A. That's not the case with these. So the first 10,000 produced started with an A prefix. So the first 3,000 produced, the ones with the short muzzle rings, focus please, all have the serial number A and all have a serial number lower than 3,000. Here I've got a chart that I've pilfered from a Facebook group. It shows all of the serial number ranges for years of manufacture. So on the left we have the early German manufacture, and then, well, starting with the 1891s, and then down the bottom we have the German manufacturer from 1909 to 1912, and on the right the Argentine manufacturer from 47 to 59. So if you've got one of these bayonets, feel free to use this chart to determine what year it was made. Okay, I might jump into the construction of the bayonets now. So the blade itself is the same length as the model 1891. It's just a Mauser style of blade. Very, very nice. Nice long true edge, not sharpened, and slight false edge. Nice thick spine and no script on it. A nice big round fuller either side of the blade. Then moving down to the crossguard, as previously stated, we've got the muzzle ring either lowered or not, and a nice big hook quillen with ball finale. We've got wooden grips with a clear out hole or inspection hole, whatever you want to call it, on either side, and the grips are riveted on so they're not easily removed. Then moving down to the pommel, one thing that I've only learnt recently actually is the press stud was reversed. So it's on the opposite side to what you find on the model of 1891. And the very early ones with the lowered muzzle rings have this extra notch under the mortise to accommodate the cleaning rod. I haven't actually seen, but I've been told that the later ones don't have that because they're lowered, so it's not required. And taking a look at the scabbard is identical to that of the 1891. Ball finale at the end, no drainage hole, and then it's retained by a little rivet either side holding the mouth on. Now, the scabbard's manufactured by Argentina for the Model 1909/47 carbines. They're a lot squarer and boxier, a little bit flatter than the German ones. The German ones, as you can see here, are a lot rounder. I'll move it over here so you can get a good view. And finally, frogs. So initially, these bayonets used the same leather frogs as the 1891, just a brown leather. However, later on, I'm not certain of the exact year, they moved on to a green leather frog, which is very iconically Argentinian, and those same frogs would go on to be used for bayonets after the 1909 as well. I love those green frogs, and I want to get my hands on one, but well, they're not terribly expensive to purchase in Argentina. Shipping is a lot. So for me to get my hands on the frog, I could buy another bayonet. So I might hold off that until either one pops up here in the market, or I go for a trip to South America or the US, or somewhere where they're going to be relatively common and cheap. Anyway, guys, that's all the information I've been able to dig up on the Model 1909. I know there's some really serious collectors out there who have to have every variation with all the different unit markings and things like that. These can be very, very addictive. I've only just tipped my toe into the pool of Model 1909s, and I was lucky enough to start out with a nice one like this with the lowered muzzle ring. I'd love to get my hands on one of the rarer Argentinian ones like the police or gendarmeries, but we'll see if I'm ever that lucky. Anyway, guys, if you have any information that I've left out or I've made any mistakes, please feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and thanks for watching.